Hello and welcome to Imbibing the Bible. In this episode, I would like to talk about the difference between believing and knowing. That is, when we talk about what we know by math, science, and history versus what we know by faith. Far too often, different sides fail to make this distinction. So when we talk about these things, we're talking about different types of knowledge. We know that 1 plus 1 equals 2. That pi is 3.14159, etc. That is an irrational number, which is the ratio between the diameter and circumference of every single circle there is. We know that the Earth exerts a gravitational force on all objects that cause them to fall at 9.8 meters per second per second. We know that light, whether it be particles or waves, travels at 300 million meters per second. And that is the fastest we know of anything that can travel. We know a lot of things through math, history, and science. But there are many things that we do not know. Many things that we cannot comprehend. Even though we are learning more things every day, there are still things we cannot understand. Belief is knowing something that we cannot understand through math, science, or history. It is by faith that we know these things, that we believe them. But we can't know them in the absolute empirical sense that many people probably wish. We cannot truly know, that there is a God while we are in this life. The best we can have is fairly good evidence that there is reason to believe in a God. Math, science, history, even philosophy cannot prove that God exists. We have to believe it. We have to have trust and faith in our senses and in the world around us. There's certainly evidence to support an ordered universe and the creation of this ordered universe. We simply believe in God. Jews, Christians, and Muslims believe in the same God, in one God, the God of Abraham. And although he is referred to by different names, by different people, he is one God, the God who loves the righteous, forgives sins, and punishes the wicked. It is true that belief is not rational, in the sense that people probably wish it was. But we use belief, we use faith, to approach questions that we cannot answer by math or science or history. There are many things we cannot answer empirically, and there are things we just simply have to believe. Without faith, without trust, we are incapable of belief. We are incapable of believing things. The conflict of the heart and the head, the mind and belief, the faith and knowledge, is a great conflict. It's a struggle that is within all of us. But it is possible to reconcile the two sides. So, by way of example, here is what we know about Jesus of Nazareth, called the Son of God. We know that Jesus of Nazareth was from Nazareth, a small town in northern Galilee. His mother's name was Mary, and her husband's name was Joseph, and he was an artisan of some kind, probably a carpenter. We know that he was born sometime during the end of the reign of Herod the Great. We know that as an adult he was baptized by John, called the Baptist, in the Jordan River, and then started a career as an itinerant preacher, preaching all throughout Judea. We know that at some point, while he was in Jerusalem for the feasts of the Passover, he was arrested and executed under the authority of Pontius Pilate, the prefect of Judea at that time. We know that after his execution, his followers continued preaching in his name, saying that he had risen from the dead. We know that within 100 years of his death, his followers had collected significant amounts of writings about him and sayings attributed to him in the Gospels. However, this is what we as Christians believe about Jesus. We believe that Jesus was not just a man. He was the Son of God. He was God incarnate, born of the Virgin Mary. We believe that Jesus was God made flesh. We believe that he was fully divine and fully human in every way except sin. We believe that 3 days after his execution, he rose from the dead. We believe that through the death and resurrection of Jesus, all of humanity has been redeemed and has the opportunity to encounter God in a very personal and real way. We believe that Jesus ascended into heaven, and we believe that eventually he will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead. The reconciliation of faith and reason is a very difficult task, but a very important one for the development of a mature faith. Blessed John Paul II said, "Science can purify religion from error and superstition, and religion can purify science from idolatry and false absolutes." And that is how you survive Harvard Divinity School as a Christian.